Hello everyone. We are studying the step response of the second order system. So already we are discussed the step response of the second order system when zeta equal to 1, that is critical damped system, and we are discussed the step response of the second order system when zeta equal to 0, that is undamped system response. So in this class we are going to study the step response of the second order system when zeta value varies in between 0 and 1. So when zeta value varies in between 0 and 1, then that type of system is called as the underdamped system. Underdamped system response when the input signal is step. Underdamped system response when the input signal is step. So we know that the second order system transfer function C of S by R of S equal to omega n square by S square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. So where omega n is the natural frequency and zeta is the damping ratio. Depending on zeta only we are classifying the system size. When zeta equal to 1 critical damped, when zeta equal to 0 undamped, when zeta greater than 1 overdamped, and when zeta value varies in between 0 and 1, that is the underdamped system. So here the applied input is step, that is input signal is R of t, that is nothing but the step signal, that is u of t. So apply Laplace transform on both sides of this one, then R of t becomes R of s and Laplace transform of u of t is 1 by s. So substitute R of s value in the second order system equation, that is in equation 1. Substitute R of s value in the second order system equation. So whenever we are substituting the second order system R of s value in second order system equation, then C of s, we know that the C of s by R of s equal to omega n square by S square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square, and I am taking R of s into the right hand side. So C of s becomes omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square into R of s. So here the applied input is unit step. That's why in place of R of s substitute 1 by s. Then the equation becomes omega n square by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square into 1 by s. C of s equal to this one. So we are doing the time response analysis. That's why we have to apply the inverse Laplace transform. We are analyzing the system response with respect to time. So we need C of t, not C of s. So in order to do that, just I am doing the partial fractions because we are not having any direct Laplace transform formula for this one. Direct inverse Laplace transform formula for this equation. That's why I am doing the partial fractions. Do the partial fractions. In order to solve the above equation. So whenever we are doing the partial fractions of that equation, then the equation becomes omega n square by, so here in the denominator part we are having s, so s into s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square equal to a by s plus bs plus c by s square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Now we have to find out a, b and c values. So in order to find out a, b and c values, so just I am solving the numerator part of the equation. So here we are having A by S plus BS plus C by S square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square. Just do the LCM. So here we are getting omega n square equal to, I am doing the partial fractions, omega n square equal to A into S square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n square plus B into BS plus C into S. BS plus C into S. So this equation omega n square equal to, just I am multiplying the terms, A into S square plus 2 zeta omega ns into A plus omega n square into A plus BS into S, BS square plus C into S. So after this, just I am taking the common terms for the S square. So for S square, how many terms we are having? We are having A and B. So I am taking the common terms of S square. So S square A plus B. And again, I am writing the S terms. So for S, the common terms are 2 zeta omega n. The common terms are 2 zeta omega n and C. 2 zeta omega n, 2 zeta omega n and plus C. Similarly, how many constant terms are there? Only one constant term, that is omega n square into A. So I am writing that one, omega n square into A. In order to find out the ABC values, I am doing the partial fractions. So here, first one is compare the constant terms. Compare the constant terms. In order to find out A value, compare the constant terms. So we are having only one constant terms, and in the left hand side we are having only one constant term. So omega n square A equal to omega n square. Omega n square A equal to omega n square. Omega n square and omega n square getting cancelled. So you are getting A value as 1. Similarly, compare the S square terms in order to find out B value. Compare the S square terms in order to find out the B value. So whenever I am comparing the S square terms, so in the left hand side we are not having any S square terms. In the right hand side we are having S square terms, that is A plus B. So A plus B equal to 0. But we know that A is 1. So substitute A value here. 1 plus B equal to 0. So from this we are finding out the B value, that is B equal to minus 1. Now we need to find out the C value also. So in order to find out the C value, compare the S terms. Compare the S terms. So whenever we are comparing the S terms, compare S terms. So whenever we are comparing the S terms, so in S terms we are having 2 zeta omega n plus C. 2 zeta omega n plus C. 2 zeta omega n A plus C equal to 0. We know that A equal to 1, substitute A value here, that is 2 zeta omega n into 1 plus C equal to 0. So from this we are getting C value as minus 2 zeta omega n. So substitute A, B and C values. C equal to, so substitute C equal to minus 2 zeta omega n in. So substitute A, B and C values in this equation. Substitute A, B, C values in this equation. Then we get A equal to 1. So 1 by S plus 2 zeta omega n by S square plus 2 zeta omega n plus omega n square. So substitute ABC values in the equation 1. Let us say this is equation 1. So substitute A, B and C values in the equation 1. Then we are getting C of S equal to 1 by S plus S. B value is 1. B value is minus 1. So minus S minus 2 zeta omega n divided by S square plus 2 zeta omega ns plus omega n whole square. So I am substituting A, B and C values in the equation. After this, just here we are having in the second term denominator of the second term. In order to simplify this equation, I am adding zeta omega n whole square and I am subtracting zeta omega n whole square. Adding zeta omega n whole square and I am subtracting zeta omega n whole square. In order to simplify this C of S equation, in the denominator part of this second term, we are adding zeta omega n whole square and we are subtracting zeta omega n whole square. Then C of S becomes equal to 1 by S minus 2 zeta omega n whole divided by S square plus 2 zeta omega n plus omega n square. I am adding zeta omega n whole square and I am subtracting zeta omega n whole square here. Then again rewriting the same equation, C of S equal to 1 by S minus 2 zeta omega n divided by S square plus 2 zeta omega n S. Just I am taking this term here and I am rewriting the denominator equation. So here we are having zeta omega n whole square and the remaining terms are omega n square, and here we are having one more term minus zeta omega n whole square. So if you observe this equation, this is similar to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So this equation is similar to, in place of a we are having s, in place of b we are having zeta omega n square. So I am replacing this equation with a plus b whole square. Then C of s becomes 1 by s minus 2 zeta omega n whole divided by. So I am rewriting this total equation with the s plus zeta omega n whole square, because this equation is in the form of a square plus 2ab plus b square. In place of a we are having s, in place of b we are having zeta omega n. So this equation becomes s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega n square. So here we are having omega n square minus zeta square omega n square. Then the equation of C of s equal to 1 by s minus zeta omega n minus 2 zeta omega n, and here we are having s plus zeta omega n whole square plus here we are having omega n square and zeta square omega n square. So I am taking zeta square omega n square term as common. So plus omega n square. So whenever I am taking omega n square term common, so here we are left with omega n square is common, 1 minus zeta square. So 1 minus zeta square. So we know that omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square equal to omega d. That is the damping frequency. So we know this equation omega n equal to omega d equal to omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. So that means if I square this equation, we are getting omega d square equal to omega n square into 1 minus zeta square. So this is the damping frequency equation. So we know that the damping frequency is omega d equal to omega n under root of 1 minus zeta square. So I am squaring this one. Whenever I am squaring this one, we are getting omega d square equal to omega n square into under root of omega n square into 1 minus zeta square. So I am replacing these term with omega d square. Then C of s becomes 1 by s minus s minus 2 zeta omega n by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. Omega d square. Next, omega d square. So now we have to multiply and divide. So before going to the multiplication, just I am rewriting this second term. Here we are having s minus 2 zeta omega n. So the 2 zeta omega n is also written as minus zeta omega n and minus zeta omega n. So minus 2 zeta omega n we are having. I am rewriting this one as minus zeta omega n and minus zeta omega n. For the simplification purpose, I am rewriting this minus 2 zeta omega n as minus zeta omega n and minus zeta. If you add these two terms, then you are getting this one only. So for the simplification purpose, I am rewriting this one as minus zeta omega n and minus zeta omega n. Then the C of s becomes 1 by s minus s minus 2 zeta omega n is written as minus zeta omega n and minus zeta omega n whole divided by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. Again, then C of s becomes, I am splitting this second term, minus s minus zeta omega n whole divided by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square minus zeta omega n by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. Just I am splitting the terms. Minus 2 zeta omega n I am rewritten as minus zeta omega n and I am splitting the terms. So if you observe this one, this is the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term in the equation. So only for third term, multiply and dividing with omega d. Only for the third term, I am multiplying omega d and I am dividing with omega d. Only for third term, multiply omega d and divide omega d. Then C of s becomes equal to 1 by s minus, the first two terms are same only, minus s minus zeta omega n by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square, and for the third term I am multiplying omega d and I am dividing by omega d. So here already we are having zeta omega n, and in the denominator part we are having s plus the total term zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. omega d square. Then now we are taking the inverse Laplace transform. Now we are taking the inverse Laplace transform here. So here I am taking total minus term as common. Then here we are getting the plus sign. I am taking the minus term common. So minus s minus 2 zeta omega n initially we are having. I am taking minus term common. So here getting the plus. Now you apply inverse Laplace transform for this one. Apply inverse Laplace transform. Inverse Laplace transform. Apply inverse Laplace transform. So inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s is inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s is 1, and we are having inverse Laplace transform of, I am taking this total as the s, inverse Laplace transform of s by s square plus a square value is cos 80, but in place of s I am having s plus zeta omega n. So inverse Laplace transform of, if you are having like this, s plus b by s plus b whole square plus a square value is, here we are having s plus b, that's why it will become e power minus bt into cos 80. So this is the inverse Laplace transform formula. Similarly here inverse Laplace transform of a by s square plus a square formula is sin 80. Sin 80. So if you observe this third term, so this zeta omega n is the constant term, and apply the inverse Laplace transform for this one. Apply the inverse Laplace transform for this one. Then it is similar to inverse Laplace transform of a by s square plus a square. In place of a we are having omega d. So a by s square plus a square, and this e power zeta omega n term is a common term. So I am applying the inverse Laplace transform and I am writing the equation. So here inverse Laplace transform of c of s is c of t. Inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s is 1. C of t equal to 1 minus, and inverse Laplace transform of s plus b by s plus b whole square plus a square equal to e power minus bt into cos a. So in place of b we are having zeta omega n, in place of a we are having the omega t. So I am writing here e power minus zeta omega n into cos omega dt. And in the third term we are taking the zeta omega n and omega d. Zeta omega n by omega d term as the constant term. So here I am writing minus zeta omega n by omega d as the constant term. Then we are applying the Laplace transform for omega d by s square plus omega d square. Omega d by s plus zeta omega n whole square plus omega d square. This is similar to inverse Laplace transform of a by s square plus a square. Then the equation becomes sin omega dt into e power minus zeta omega nt. Because here also in place of s we are having s plus a, that's why here we are getting the e power minus zeta omega nt. So this is the equation we are getting. So in these term we are having the e power minus zeta omega nt, and in the third term also we are having the e power minus zeta omega nt. So I am taking the e power minus zeta omega nt term common. So it will become 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt. The remaining terms are, here we are left with cos omega dt, cos omega dt, cos omega dt, and here I am taking overall minus s common, so here we are getting the plus. We are having zeta omega n by omega d and sine omega dt, sine omega dt, sine omega dt. So this is the inverse Laplace transform of the second order system when the input is unit step. When the input is unit step. But we know that, I am simplifying this one. We know that omega d equal to omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square. So just substitute omega d value here. Then C of t becomes 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt, e power minus zeta omega nt, cos omega dt, cos omega dt, zeta omega n by omega n into under root of 1 minus zeta square, and we are having sine omega dt. So this omega n and this omega n cancelled out. Then we are having C of t equal to 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt, cos omega dt, cos omega dt, cos omega dt plus zeta by under root of 1 minus zeta square into sine omega dt, sine omega dt. So this is the equation we are getting. This is the equation we are getting. And if you want to simplify this one, again 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt, just e power minus zeta omega nt, and under root of 1 minus zeta square, cos omega dt, cos omega dt plus zeta into sine omega dt, zeta into sine omega dt. Just I am doing the LCM here. Overall under root of 1 minus zeta square. So this is the equation we are getting. This is the equation we are getting. I am taking this overall under root of 1 minus zeta square into this place. So the C of t becomes 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt divided by under root of 1 minus zeta square, and here we are having under root of 1 minus zeta square cos omega dt, cos omega dt plus here we are having plus, this is plus term, zeta sine omega dt, zeta sine omega dt. But we are having the right angle triangle. We are having the right angle triangle. So this is the right angle triangle. So this value is 1. This is zeta. And this is under root of 1 minus zeta square. So from this triangle, cos theta equal to zeta, cos theta equal to zeta, and sin theta equal to under root of 1 minus zeta square, sin theta equal to under root of 1 minus zeta square, and tan theta equal to under root of 1 minus zeta square by zeta. So we are substituting the sin theta cos theta values here. So wherever we are having under root of 1 minus zeta square, we have to replace this one with sin theta, and wherever we are having zeta, we have to replace this one with the cos theta. Then the C of t value becomes 1 minus, this is C of t, 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt and divided by under root of 1 minus zeta square. So here we are having under root of 1 minus zeta square. Here we are having under root of 1 minus zeta square. So in place of that, you have to substitute sine theta, and here we are having cos omega dt. So I am writing cos omega dt plus again here we are having zeta. So in place of zeta, you have to substitute cos theta, and again we are having the sine omega dt. So this is similar to sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. This whole term is similar to sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. So that is equal to the sin a plus b. So in place of a we are having theta, in place of b we are having the omega d. So I am rewriting the C of t as 1 minus e power minus zeta omega nt by under root of 1 minus zeta square into sine. In place of a we are having theta, in place of b we are having omega t. So omega dt plus theta. So if you want to draw the response of the system, here we are having one steady state term 1, and this is the transient term that is multiplied with the sinusoidal oscillations. So just I am trying to draw the time response of this system. The time response is nothing but the system response with respect to time. So I am taking in y-axis I need to take C of t, in x-axis I need to take in x-axis I need to take time. So I am drawing that one. Time response of the step response of the second order system when zeta equal to 1. So in x-axis we have to take time. In x-axis we have to take time. In y-axis we have to take the C of t. So here in the response, if you take the response, here we are having the exponentially decaying function is multiplied with the sinusoidal function. So the response is like this. Exponentially decaying function is multiplied with sinusoidal function. So here we are getting the decay of oscillations. So whenever the system response containing the decay of oscillations, these type of systems are called as the underdamped system response. This type of response is called underdamped system response. So I hope you understood the derivation, and this final equation is very important because in time domain specifications we are calculating the response time, delay time, and maximum peak overshoot. So in order to do that one, we are going to use this equation. This final equation is very important. So thank you everyone. Hope you get some knowledge about the underdamped system. Thank you very much.